What's going on, everybody? It's Professor Gnome, and today I wanted to take a look at Palkia VSTAR, and this card it's really waxed and waned. It went from being really, really good to like not very good to like okay to pretty good, and then it became pretty bad for a while. But it's back to being incredibly good because of the incredibly influential Area Zero Underdepths Stadium card that has kind of completely changed the game. It's made so many cards that were kind of not great to be really, really playable. This card is kind of broken, if I'm being completely honest. And the way that we're going to utilize that is with Terapagos EX, because it has the Unified Beatdown, which is pretty much just a weaker version of what Palkia can already do. But we also get to play the Wellspring EX, where what we're able to do is we can use the Torrential Pump, where we can utilize our Palkia V-Star's attack, throw 3 energy on it, and then we get to shuffle this card and the energy back into the deck. We can do 100 and then snipe for 120 on the bench. It's a really, really effective card, but we also get the added benefits of having the Sob, which doesn't really seem like a lot since it's only doing 20 damage, but it does mean that your opponent can't retreat on the next turn. And really what this allows you to do in the late stages of the game, you can throw this down, throw an energy on it, boss something up, or use anything else that you want to use. So like you can use your A-Spec to Prime Catcher something up with your Wellspring, trap it there, Sob so they can't retreat, make it so you can grab something like a Bibarel that has 120 HP, so for multiple turns they're just trapped there pretty much indefinitely in the later stages of the game when they're out of switches, they're out of ways to move their cards around. It can be really impactful and like a great way to close things out. We're also running 1 copy of Kieran, since it just helps damage numbers and makes things a little bit easier for our Palkia to knock out. We're able to use Irida, since we're running all water Pokemon for the most part. And we have Iono because it's kind of just a staple. It's a really strong card, and it's great to have. Alongside of our Palkia, though, we are running the Noctowl. Noctowl being incredibly strong, and so being able to pair that alongside Bibarel and our Fan Rotom really makes it so our board is super strong, and overall this deck is able to get going very quickly. Since Palkia only requires 2 energy, you can even Star Portal to yourself if you have to later on and repower up multiple Palkias. They're really easy to search out since we have a lot of searching ability, and also Irida, which obviously will grab us whatever cards we're looking for. And so the deck ramps up very quickly. If you can, as long as you can get your Stadium out into play, you're doing an incredible amount of damage very, very quickly. Since unlike Terapagos, Palkia, it does damage based on both players' benches. So if they're utilizing the Stadium as well, you're just doing an insane amount of damage, and you're hitting incredibly hard, incredibly fast. So yeah, that's going to be the list, guys. Be sure to let me know what you think of the list and any changes that you would make to it. I want to give a special shout out to the channel members. Thank you guys so much for the additional support for the channel. It does really mean a lot, and it's really nice to have. I appreciate it so much. And then for anyone interested in this deck list, it's down in the description below, so you can copy it, try it for yourself, make any changes that you want to make to it. And then as well, there's a link to the community Discord if you're interested in that. Be sure to join in that. We're just kind of share deck lists and all that kind of stuff, just general conversation and all that. So it's pretty good. And yeah, I think that's it. Oh, and you know, as always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff. I gotta remember to say that because it helps the algorithm and all that kind of stuff. And lastly, in part of that nature, what was I gonna say? I completely zoned out. Oh yeah, let me know what you want to see in the next video, like any kind of cards or deck or whatever that you want to see featured, so that way I can get to those kind of requests. But yeah, that's just about everything. I will stop rambling on, and I will see you guys in game number 1 in a moment. Peace. Alright, we're into game number 1, and our opponent's going to be going first. We are going to mulligan this hand away. Our opponent mulligans also. Personally, I prefer to be able to go second, or sorry, be able to go first with this deck. We see what looks to be Dracopult. We open Greninja. It's actually not too bad, especially depending on, yeah, it is Dracopult. Depending on what we get in terms of our, like, mulligan draws here, we could actually be in a really good position. to kind of abuse Greninja, but personally, I prefer to be able to go first with this deck because a lot of times you're going to be able to evolve on your second turn into Palkia VSTAR, start getting attacks off, be in a really, really strong position, and it works out like really great. Unfortunately, that's not really the case here because we're going second, but Dracopult typically plays a little bit slower, so it won't be something that we have that much of an issue with. It also plays a pretty wide bench as well, which is good for us because playing this is okay. So this is one of the things about Palkia, and I'm going to talk about this while my opponent takes 10 years to like set up and do things. One of the things about Palkia that's really, really good isn't just the damage it gets from the benched Pokemon. It also functions in a way where your opponent understands that the more Pokemon they put on the bench, the more damage your Palkia is going to do. So to counter the damage, they have to play a smaller bench. And so when they do that, they really don't get anything done. Our opponent just played straight Rotom. That's crazy. So we're going to go Rotom Fan. We'll use Rotom Fan to help thin our deck. Grab ourselves a Hoothoot, a Bidoof, and we'll grab one more Noctowl. We'll go Doop, Doop. Then what we can do is go Concealed Cards, where we get another Nest Ball. That's pretty sweet as well. So we can grab ourselves our Palkia V. So that way that is ready to be evolved on the following turn. And then from there we can pass. We see the Dreepy, Pokemon League headquarters. Don't really care about that. Nest Ball. So probably what I'm going to do here is I'm going to play the Noctowl down. I'm going to grab myself my Stadium. Oh, well, there's an Iono. That kind of changes my plans. Honestly, that didn't change my plans all that much. Because I'm going to play down Bibarel, and then I'm going to Ultra Ball to grab myself the Noctowl. The only thing it really changes is the fact that I don't have my... Ah. Okay. So I can play that down. Go Bibarel. I'll go Ultra Ball. Get rid of this and this. Grab myself the Noctowl. I can place the Noctowl down. Oh, I had to play my Nest Ball first. Made a mistake. Alright, let's get the Terapagos. That'll at least activate my Stadium. And play this down. That was a huge mistake to not sequence that correctly. I wasn't even playing it, like I wasn't even paying attention for a second. And that's definitely going to cost me. So I can go Palkia VSTAR here, and I'm gonna go Earthen Vessel. I can fix this though. So what I can do is go play that down. I'll remove the Bidoof, grab myself 2 energies. Then what I can do is go Concealed Cards. And then from here, what I'll be able to do is go Star Portal for 2 onto the Greninja, place the energy down, and go Moonlight Shuriken, doing 90 to both Dreepies. And grabbing 2 prizes. I can't believe I messed that up though. I was supposed to play the Nest Ball down first, and I like was just looking at it, so I just like in my brain just went out of sequence, because in order for this to work, you have to have a Terra Pokemon in play, And so I was just already thinking that I nest balled for this for some reason. Like I just like zoned out in the sequencing process. So definitely messed that up, but it kind of all worked out in the end. Like one of the things that is kind of good about me messing that up is it does okay, it's a teachable moment. So like I'm obviously not like proud of the misplay, but I'm also not like upset by it, if that makes sense. So I have to choose one of my Pokemon to get rid of. I will choose the Fan Rotom. They're about to be so upset, by the way, because they're going to use this Cleffa, and I'm going to Energy Switch the energy off the Palkia, drop another energy, and knock out both Dreepy again. And they're going to be so upset. So I'll go Palkia here. Drop the energy down. I'm going to go Energy Switch onto that. Then what I can do is go... I can drop the Iono here. I could also boss to, like, put the Fezandipiti in the active, force them to waste another turn of, like, energy attachment. But I think I just want to go Iono. Mess their hand up a little bit more. And get myself a couple options. Is there anything I want to Super Rod? Not at the moment. I can always do that next turn. I'll get myself one more card. Glass Trumpet is not bad. I'll grab that, and I'll throw it onto the Noctowl for now. And then from here, I can go Moonlight Shuriken again. Dropping it onto both Dreepies. Because now the main thing is that if I get myself into a boss's orders or anything like that, I can pull up the Rotom and just knock that out anytime I want. Or I can look for energy switches again and just do the Greninja play again. And just be really annoying. But right now they don't have Dreepies at all. Like they have to find a Super Rod, put the Dreepies back in, like refind those. So I mean, we have a good amount of turns here. I can even, yeah, I was gonna say the game is pretty much over because I can even go like Glass Trumpet onto the Terapagos, switch that in, and then just start attacking. So that's gonna be the end of the game. One of the things that is like kind of a teachable moment though, and I kind of started to talk about it but then didn't really finish my point, was that I failed the sequencing, right? Like I messed that up. That is a mistake and a misplay on my part that is like kind of crucial. But even when you make a misplay like that, it's like you can't really just like give up and kind of just like, oh, I messed that up, I guess the game's over kind of thing. It's like we were still able to find a way to make the most optimal play regardless of our mistakes and be able to find like a winning kind of line of play even out of like, okay, we messed this up, but like how do we pivot? And being able to do that is like critical and like really important. So like one, it's a mentality thing of like just being able to like remain positive even though you mess something up, and like realize like, okay, in the moment it's a mistake, but not to get like hung up on it, and continue to make like the best plays that you can even though you made your mistakes. Like no one's perfect, everyone's gonna mess up, so it's kind of important to be able to like accept the mistake you made and continue to look for like the best line of play you can make. And we were able to do that and like utilize Greninja and put ourselves in a really strong position. But yeah, that's game one, and we'll jump into game two in a second. I'll see you guys there. Peace. All right, we're into game number two. Our opponent's going to be going first. We open double Palkia, and we do have an Irida, which is nice for us. Our opponent's going to mulligan. We would obviously have preferred to go first. Our opponent's also playing a Area 0 Underdepth style deck, though we didn't really get to see like what they're playing. Play the Bidoof down. We just see Fezandipiti, so that still doesn't really tell us anything. There's the Buddy Poffin. Ooh, are they playing the... Are they also playing Palkia, but they're playing it with Duskull? Maybe not, because there's Pidgeot. Hoothoot. Pidgey, they have Noctowl in hand. We can drop Terapagos. There's a part of me that wants to just go Iono right now. Like, I'll play that. That helps us both. It's not really the biggest deal for me. There's a part of me that wants to just drop the Iono. Like, I'm gonna go Ultra Ball here. Get rid of this and this. Muted in time for my sneeze. I'm a YouTube professional now. I will grab myself... I wanted to grab Fan Rotom, but I think it's prized. And it is. So I'm going to just grab the Radiant Greninja in advance. Place that down. Drop the Iono. Get myself a new hand. Reset theirs because obviously they already have Noctowl. This is okay because I get the Earthen Vessel. I won't need the Kieran. It's not going to matter. I can go 2 energies here. Concealed cards away, draw myself 2 more. I'll play the other Terapagos down, but it really doesn't matter right now. I'm just going to place the energy onto the Palkia. And what I can do... Actually, I won't bother. I was going to say, what I can do is Rule of Region and be able to get myself a new Stadium card for later. But I already have one in hand, so there's really no benefit to doing that. There's the Terapagos. Another Hoothoot. They're going to Ultra Ball for a Noctowl. Oh, they already have one, so they're probably going to go just straight Pidgey. Or, sorry, Pidgeot. Which means they have Rare Candy in hand. So now they can use Pidgeot to find themselves the Noctowl. But they're still... they don't have any energy available. So they'd have to get like a double turbo and a switch in order to knock out my Palkia. And even if they do, that's like not the biggest deal in the world because they'd only have one Terapagos in play available. And then I'd be able to bring in my other Palkia, play Palkia VSTAR, and Star Portal the energy onto myself in order to knock them out. But I'd rather save the Star Portal because as of right now, I have Fan Rotom as a liability and I have their Duskull and then a second Hoothoot that I could always target with like a Radiant Greninja play if I'm able to Star Portal to that instead. A rescue stretcher. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think that they'd want to play that. There's a research though. There's a double turbo. Did they get the switch too? Because if they did, that's like kind of crazy. Another rare candy for Dust Noir. There's the quick search from the Pidgey, so they can grab themselves the switch now if they so choose. which will knock out my Palkia, but that's not like the biggest problem in the world. They are down 2 rare candies already. Wow, they chose not to attack me. Which is pretty nice. I'm gonna throw the Bidoof down. I'm gonna go Iono here. And I think I have to go Earthen Vessel, even though I really don't want to. And I'll grab the other Palkia VSTAR. Play the Earthen Vessel down, get rid of the Energy Switch. Grab myself 2 energy. Evolve the VSTAR. Go ahead and concealed card, see if I can get myself into a Bidoof. I don't, but I do get double Nest Ball. Where I can go for the Wellspring. And then from here, what I can do is Nest Ball, and I'm probably going to grab Hoothoot. Just in case I'm able to get myself into like an Ultra Ball or something like that. Fezandipiti's nice, but like I don't really need it right this second. I can place the energy down. And from here, go Subspace Swell. Knock out the Fezandipiti, get myself 2 prizes. I'll have the boss's orders for the next turn. There's the Bibarel. That's actually really big for me. Since what I'll be able to do is that I can actually boss's orders on the next turn. Like, even if I have to ignore one of the Terapagos, I don't really care that much. Just to be able to knock out, like, the Pidgeot. Or if they don't evolve the Hoothoot on this turn, if they go Dusknoir, I can bring in the Radiant Greninja, Star Portal to it, knock out the Hoothoot and the Fan Rotom. That'll put me down to 1 prize card. And then from there, I can literally knock out like whatever I want. They go boss's orders to KO the Wellspring. Cursed Blast. Okay, onto the Hoothoot. So they'll take 3 prizes this turn. So we'll be tied at 3 prizes apiece. I'll still have Palkia available. Yeah, I think I let this get KO'd. So they go down to 3 prizes, right? So I think what I do here is I go Radiant Greninja. I evolve the Bibarel. Then what I can do is I can drop the Buddy Poffin from my hand. I'll take the Hoothoot. I don't really care. Then what I want to do is I want to boss's orders the Fezandipiti, just to keep that like kind of locked into play. Yeah, and then I can Radiant Greninja to knock out the Duskull and the other Hoothoot. Take 2 prizes, go down to 1, force them that they have to either find a switch or attach an energy for turn. I'll have a single prizer in the active with no way for them to kind of do anything to me in order to take the final prizes. And that would have closed out the game. So that's going to be game number 2, and a pretty easy closeout towards the end there. So, dude, man, Radiant Greninja is so strong. Like, the Star Portal Radiant Greninja combo is actually so crazy. But yeah, that's game number 3, and or number 2, and we'll jump into number 3 in just a moment. Peace. Alright, we're into game number 3, and we're going to be going first. We open kind of interestingly. We get our Terapagos and our Hoothoot. We have a heavy ball, so maybe we'll be able to find something. We're up against Dracopult again. We do get our Palkia. That's actually kind of nice. We'll go... Yeah, we'll grab that. One of our VSTARs is prized, which we don't love, but it's not like the biggest deal in the world. For now, we'll throw the energy down onto the Terapagos, and we'll hold off. We'll have to see what we draw on our next turn. Because there's a world where we could at least knock out this Dreepy. But we'll have to wait and see. Okay, our opponent did literally nothing. Okay, well. That world where we knock out the Dreepy has come to fruition. But I feel like this doesn't really count. Like, it's kind of underwhelming. So we'll see what happens next. There's a Night Stretcher for the Dreepy. How funny it would be if we had Boss. Wow, their hand is terrible. So this is just the battle of the bad hands, but unfortunately for you, buddy, I'm gonna win. So I'm actually gonna grab Greninja here because getting the VSTAR literally means nothing. And then I'm gonna go Earthen Vessel. Play down the Greninja, go Earthen Vessel. I'll get rid of the Wellspring. I don't really care about that right now, and I can always get it back. Grab myself some energy, go Concealed Cards for 2 more. And I'm actually not going to bother to play the energy. I'm going to hold on to it just so that way I can use Concealed Cards on a following turn. Or be able to play the energy down later if, you know, anything is to happen. I have another energy, which is fine by me. This is the battle of the bad hands, but it's just working out for me. Man, another Night Stretcher. That is rough going, friend. Okay. I mean, they get to get into their Dracopult. And they hit an Iono. I mean, that's totally fine for me, to be honest. Okay, Buddy Poffin. Okay, the Iono didn't work out for me, if I'm actually honest. It didn't go very well at all. The only benefit here is that they actually don't have any energy. So, like, they get themselves into Dracopult, but... Oh, they're going to be able to Jet Headbutt me. Alright, well, I was going to get 2-shot regardless, so... Okay, the Buddy Poffin does not matter. I can play the Zero Death, but that also doesn't matter. I can play the Boss's Orders, but again, that also won't matter. So I'm going to go Unified Beatdown here. Put enough damage down that if I can evolve into Palkia, I will be able to KO it. We just have to hope they don't get into energy. And they're going to get 1 card to, you know, try. No shot. That's crazy. Wow, what a lucky draw. We'll see what they do with the Phantom draw. Alright, we need to get into Palkia VSTAR on our next turn. If we can, we're, you know, great. If we're not, then we're gonna struggle. Wow. Well, that works. Zero Depth, Buddy Poffin. grab myself a new Hoothoot, a new Bidoof. We'll even throw down... we don't really need to throw down another Palkia. But we can Star Portal. Go 1, 2. And we'll even throw... Do we throw an energy onto the Greninja? I don't think so. We hit for 280, which is more than enough to knock out the Dracopult. We'll survive an attack from the Charizard. And cool, we got another Palkia VSTAR. So now we just need an energy. Well, actually, okay. It's not totally true. Because they could go... I was going to say, in theory, they could go, like, Dusclops or, like, Dusknoir. Pop that, and then use the Radiant Charizard to knock us out. But then they go down to one prize, and we can bring in the Palkia, evolve into Palkia VSTAR, and then look to... just get like one energy and kind of just go from there. Oh, that's unfortunate. Definitely unlucky for them. So we'll Ultra Ball here, get rid of the Buddy Poffin, or not the Buddy Poffin, the Switch. Do we have we do. I think we just grab our own barrel here. Place this down, go Bibarel. Because, okay, the question now is, do I bother to go boss's orders just to boss up the Radiant Charizard? Because it's like the only thing that could be really annoying for us. We'll go Nest Ball for a Fezandipiti for later. I think I do. I think I do go boss's orders here, pull up the Charizard, just because it's like the only thing that could like kind of pose an issue to us, if I'm honest. Then we'll go Earthen Vessel, we'll get rid of the Kieran, or the Kieran, because again, it's not really that much of an issue. We'll attach the energy to the Palkia, so that way that's powered up, we'll be able to knock out whatever they bring in. We get ourselves the Noctowl as well, that we don't actually need for anything right this second. We'll knock that out, we'll go down to one prize, but what Noctowl will allow us to do is grab a boss's orders or something like that if we need it for the following turn. We do have the Prime Catcher, so pretty much no matter what, we're going to be able to close out this game. So kind of a weird game 3. It was a battle of the bad hands, but you know, we were able to pull through. Even if they make Dracopult at this point, it won't really translate to anything. They need 2 knockouts on this turn. There's no way for them to knock out the Palkia VSTAR. If they go Duskull or anything like that, they would literally lose the game. They would need... I'm trying to think, is there a way they could win? There is. They'd have to go energy onto Dracopult, evolve into Dracopult, drop Blair, pull up the Terapagos somehow with like a Prime Catcher, and then put the damage onto the Hoothoot. I mean, there was their Blair. Like, they could have done it in theory. Like, they would have needed, like, a Prime Catcher, which they could have had. So we'll Prime Catcher up this, bring in our Palkia. Pretty much what they would have had to do is have a Prime Catcher. They would have put the 2 energies down on this, Prime Catchered up the Terapagos, attacked into this with a Blair down, so that way they're getting an extra prize. They take this for 3 prizes and then knock out the Hoothoot like they did, and they would have gotten 4 prizes off that. But for now, we'll subspace Swell and knock out the Dracopult or the Dracolock. Maybe they just didn't see the line, and that's why they didn't do it. Or they aren't playing the Prime Catcher. Maybe it's prized. Maybe they just aren't playing it. A lot of Dracopult decks are now playing the Sparkling Crystal, so maybe they're just playing that instead. I'm really not too sure, but that was a potential line that they could have had to like win the game by like sniping out 4 prizes. And it's why I think Prime Catcher in Dracopult is still like the best option. Now that Blair's a thing, like the ability to just take so many extra prizes is so good. But yeah, that's going to be game number 3, and I will see you guys in the next one. I want to give a shout out again to the channel members. Thank you guys so much for that. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff for the YouTube alg. And I will see you guys in the next one. Be sure to let me know what you want to see, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, peace out.